The year was 1966, a time when America was in the throes of change. Yet in the small town of Point Pleasant, West Virginia, life moved at a slower, more predictable pace. Nestled along the banks of the Ohio River, Point Pleasant was a community where everyone knew each other and the days were marked by a comforting routine. But that year, a sense of unease began to settle upon the town, like a dark cloud casting a shadow over its serene landscape. Whispers of a strange creature began to circulate. Tales passed from neighbor to neighbor under the cover of darkness. These stories spoke of an entity that defied the norms of nature, something that seemed to belong to the realm of nightmares rather than reality. Something was lurking in the shadows, something that defied explanation. It was as if the town had been plunged into a collective dream, one that was both fascinating and terrifying. The creature was described as large and bird-like, with glowing red eyes that seemed to pierce the veil of night. These eyes were said to be so intense that they could be seen from great distances, burning like embers in the darkness. They called it the Mothman. The name itself evoked a sense of dread, a moniker that would soon become synonymous with fear in the region. For over a year, sightings of the creature plagued the region, gripping the community in a vice of fear and fascination. Each new encounter added another layer to the growing legend, making it harder for skeptics to dismiss the stories outright. Some dismissed the stories as mere superstition, the product of overactive imaginations. They argued that the Mothman was nothing more than a figment of collective hysteria, a modern-day boogeyman. Others, however, claimed to have come face to face with the enigmatic entity, their accounts too vivid, too terrifying to be mere fabrication. These witnesses described encounters that left them shaken to their core, convinced that what they had seen was real. The legend of the Mothman grew with each passing day, etching itself into the fabric of West Virginia folklore. Newspapers ran sensational headlines, and the stories spread beyond the borders of the small town, capturing the imagination of people far and wide. What was the Mothman? Was it a harbinger of doom, as some believed, its presence a grim portent of disaster? This theory gained traction when, in December of 1967, the Silver Bridge collapsed, leading to the tragic deaths of 46 people. Many locals couldn't help but connect the dots, seeing the Mothman as a warning of the impending catastrophe. Or was it simply an unknown creature, driven from its natural habitat by forces beyond our understanding? Some speculated that the Mothman was a rare, undiscovered species, perhaps displaced by environmental changes or human encroachment. Decades later, the mystery of the Mothman continues to captivate and intrigue, a testament to our enduring fascination with the unexplained. Point Pleasant has embraced its eerie legacy, with a statue commemorating the creature and an annual festival that draws visitors from around the world. The Mothman remains a symbol of the unknown, a reminder that some mysteries may never be fully understood, but will always be remembered. The first reported sighting of the Mothman occurred on November 15, 1966. It was a cold, crisp night in the small town of Point Pleasant, West Virginia, a night that would forever change the town's history. 4 young men, driving late at night near an abandoned World War II munitions plant known as the TNT area, noticed 2 red lights in the shadows. This area, once bustling with activity during the war, had since fallen into eerie disuse, adding to the ominous atmosphere. As they approached, they realized the lights belonged to a large, winged creature, its eyes glowing an eerie red in the darkness. The creature's presence was both mesmerizing and terrifying, a sight none of them would ever forget. Terrified, the men sped away, the creature allegedly giving chase. Their hearts pounded as they drove at breakneck speed, glancing nervously in the rearview mirror, expecting the creature to swoop down at any moment. The story quickly spread, picked up by local newspapers eager to capitalize on the sensational tale. The small town was abuzz with rumors and speculations, each more fantastical than the last. The Point Pleasant Register, the town's local paper, ran a headline proclaiming, "Couples see man-sized bird, creature, something." This headline captured the curiosity and fear of the townspeople, sparking a wave of interest and concern. The story caught the attention of the national press, and soon reporters from across the country descended upon Point Pleasant, eager to cover the unfolding mystery. The once quiet town found itself in the spotlight, with journalists and curious onlookers flooding in. The Mothman sightings continued for months, with witnesses describing a creature ranging in size from 6 to 10 feet tall, with a wingspan of up to 10 feet. Each new sighting added to the growing legend, with descriptions varying but always maintaining an air of the supernatural. Some claimed it had no discernible head, its glowing red eyes embedded in its chest. This bizarre detail only added to the creature's mystique, making it seem even more otherworldly and terrifying. Others described a more humanoid form, with large bat-like wings. These varying accounts painted a picture of a creature that defied conventional understanding, a being that seemed to exist on the fringes of reality. Whatever its true appearance, the Mothman had captured the public's imagination, its legend spreading far beyond the borders of West Virginia. The creature became a symbol of mystery and fear, a legend that would endure for generations, inspiring books, movies, and countless theories about its origins and purpose. The Mothman story might have faded into obscurity, relegated to the realm of local legend, were it not for the efforts of Gray Barker. A West Virginia native and self-proclaimed Fortean author, Barker specialized in writing about unexplained phenomena. Intrigued by the Mothman reports, Barker traveled to Point Pleasant in 1967 to investigate the sightings firsthand. Barker's 1970 book, They Knew Too Much About Flying Saucers, introduced the Mothman to a wider audience. In his book, Barker connected the Mothman sightings to UFO activity and other paranormal phenomena. He posited that the creature was perhaps an extraterrestrial being or an interdimensional traveler, its appearance a sign of something far stranger than anything science could explain. Barker's work, while often criticized for its sensationalized claims and lack of rigorous evidence, nonetheless played a key role in shaping the Mothman legend. His book, along with numerous articles and lectures, helped to cement the Mothman's place in the annals of cryptozoology and UFO lore. In 1975, author and paranormal investigator John Keel published The Mothman Prophecies, a book that would further solidify the Mothman's place in popular culture. This book was not just a recounting of eerie tales, but a deep dive into the mysterious and often terrifying events that surrounded the Mothman sightings. Keel's work brought a new level of intrigue and fear to the legend, making it a staple in the annals of paranormal lore. Keel, like Barker, believed that the Mothman was more than just an unexplained creature. He saw it as a complex entity, possibly interdimensional, whose appearances were not random, but rather significant and foreboding. Keel's investigations led him to believe that the Mothman was a part of a larger tapestry of paranormal phenomena that included UFOs, cryptids, and otherworldly beings. He saw it as a harbinger of disaster, its appearance inextricably linked to a series of strange occurrences in and around Point Pleasant. The small town of Point Pleasant became a focal point for these bizarre events, turning it into a hotspot for paranormal enthusiasts and researchers. Keel meticulously documented these occurrences, drawing connections that others had overlooked. Keel's book chronicled his own experiences investigating the Mothman sightings, as well as the numerous other unusual events that plagued Point Pleasant during that time. He spent countless hours interviewing witnesses, sifting through newspaper clippings, and exploring the dark woods where the Mothman was said to dwell. His dedication to uncovering the truth was unwavering, even in the face of skepticism and ridicule. He wrote of UFO sightings, strange phone calls, and encounters with mysterious men in black. These elements added layers of complexity to the Mothman story, suggesting that the creature was part of a broader, more sinister phenomenon. The men in black, in particular, were a recurring theme in Keel's work, often appearing to intimidate or silence witnesses. Most notably, Keel connected the Mothman to the December 15, 1967 collapse of the Silver Bridge, a tragedy that claimed the lives of 46 people. This catastrophic event was a turning point in the Mothman legend, cementing its association with doom and disaster. Keel's assertion that the Mothman was a warning of the impending collapse added a chilling dimension to the story. Keel believed that the Mothman was a harbinger of this disaster, its presence a warning that went unheeded. He theorized that the creature's sightings were a form of premonition, a way for the universe to signal impending doom. This idea resonated with many, adding a layer of existential dread to the Mothman mythos. His book, while controversial, offered a compelling and unsettling look at the Mothman phenomenon, suggesting a world where the lines between reality and the supernatural were blurred beyond recognition. Keel's work challenged readers to reconsider their understanding of reality, to entertain the possibility that our world is far stranger and more mysterious than we can comprehend. The Mothman prophecies remains a seminal work in the field of paranormal research, continuing